What's going on, everybody? We're going to be live in about 30 seconds. So grab your popcorn, grab your coffee. We are about to dive right in. Guys, what's going on? My name is Jordan Payne. I'm excited to have you. Welcome to Coffee with a Killer, aka Carnage with a Carnivore. We kind of interchange the name as we go just to keep it exciting and to keep you guys on your toes. If I have not met you, I am extremely happy you are here. Today, what we're going to be talking about is raising private capital. This is something that I have done a lot of, just over $2 million total, about 2.2. And we have used that previously to build a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio, predominantly without using my own money. So that's kind of the lens that I'm going to be talking about this through. If you guys are not in our free community, you guys need to get in there. It's not only me. We've got about 7, 8 different people that are high level, that are jumping in, that are teaching, trading, consulting, mentoring, and just we're helping people get deals done. So if you guys have not done that already, make sure you join the network. It is 100% free to you. It does cost us something, but it is free to you. So what we're going to talk about today is we are going to talk about private money. Private money. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you guys essentially how I raised my capital, the best way to think about it, the best way to operate with it. And at the end of the day, if it can help you attain financial freedom doing it the correct way. Most people don't do this stuff the correct way. And what they do is they completely ruin it for everybody else. So I'm going to show you guys the correct way, and I believe it will help you. So let's rock and roll, guys. So private money. Couple misconceptions. A lot of people come into this and they say, look, dude, I've done no deal, and no deal equals no money, right? I haven't done a deal. Therefore, I'm not going to get private money. No deal, no money. No deal, no money. There's a lot wrong with this because what you are looking at is you are thinking about you, okay? You are thinking about you. You are not thinking about this industry the way that it was designed to work and designed to operate. So if you're only thinking about you, and if you're thinking, I haven't done blank, you're not focused on solving a problem for somebody. Okay? So when I talk about problems, I put on here as a joke, 99 problems, but private money ain't one. Problems. Let's check it out. So number 1, stock market sucks. Stock market, it sucks. Number 2, people are freaking busy. Number 3, ROI on, for some people, like trading, like if you're looking at like a trading broker or like an Ameritrade or something similar like that, it's not going to be consistent. So I'll just put inconsistent. Some people want more safety. When I do private money, I am trying to solve specifically one of these pain points. And if I cannot solve one of these pain points, guess what? There's no deal to be had. Guess what? It ain't going to work. Good afternoon, Mr. St. John. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Who else is watching live? If you guys would go ahead and say, hey, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. That'd be swell. Private money, it's 100% about solving a problem, just like it is in real estate when you're trying to wholesale a deal and or buy a property and or fix and flip a property. There has to be a problem. And if there's not a problem to solve, there's nothing. We got nothing. So I am looking at people that say, look, man, the stock market is really struggling right now. I do not trust my retirement in the stock market. Awesome. What would you consider to be an appropriate return? I mean, 5% a year, 7% a year, 10% a year. Okay, great. And you've thought about security, right? What would you consider to be like something secure? I'm assuming you want something physical. Yeah, absolutely something physical. Okay, something that if something was to go wrong, like you could basically liquidate an asset, right? Yes, absolutely. Guess what? Problem number one. What's going on, Eugene? Hope you're doing good, man. Problem number one, stock market. I can tick that off. Absolutely. Well, I'd love to show you what I do. I'd love to show you how I have worked with dozens of people and have been able to provide them a really, really safe return. A great asset, an appreciating asset, and really just way hands off. So if we come into, I'm too busy. A lot of people, even in real estate right now, they are too busy to really accomplish the types of returns that they're looking for. Okay. Think of like a buy and hold investor that wants a higher ROI, but doesn't have enough time to go out and do more projects necessarily because they have a lot going on at home or whatever. We were talking to a guy earlier that is working full time but wants cash flow. He's too busy. He's too busy. ROI on trades and or 401ks being inconsistent. Number three, I've got people in my life, I've got family members that were getting ready to retire. And guess what? I think it was like 12, 18 months before retirement, 401k completely crashed. They'd been working at that job for 30 years. Think about that, guys. You work 30 years and you believe in something, a 401k, you believe in your employer. And over the course of 30 years, things change. In this scenario, it was sold to a Chinese company. Chinese company didn't do well with the media or with the press. And guess what? The stock tanked. And it's actually my father-in-law came to the realization that he was going to have to work 20 more years than he'd initially anticipated. So I want you to imagine being a year away from retirement and completely losing it. Inconsistent, safety. I'm going to solve one of these problems. And by solving one of these problems, guess what? I'm going to make great money, and the person that I'm working with is going to make great money. If I mess up, if there's any feasible scenario where I can't produce, guess what? Maybe if you guys are watching this live, you guys can post this in the comments. What happens if I cannot produce? What happens if I don't do what I say I'm going to do? What would happen in that scenario? I'm sure you guys are typing it. There is a little bit of a delay. The lender would get the asset. And if we are analyzing the deal appropriately, like I showed you guys the other day, if you guys have not grabbed our free download, just comment spreadsheet down below and we'll get you guys a free deal analysis spreadsheet. If you do it the way that we teach, guess what? Even if you messed up the private money loan or something unforeseen happened, your lender would get an asset that you bought accurately and you bought well, and they could sell it and actually make more money than they were going to make in the first place. How does it get any better than that? It really doesn't. So what we want to be doing is we want to be leveraging OPM, other people's money. Other people's money. We want to be leveraging it appropriately to get what we want. So what do we want? A lot of you, it's cash flow. Many of you, it is simply cash. Either or. Cash flow or just cash. It works. Both of them work. The more that we leverage and the more that this would go up, the better off we are. So what I was able to do, guys, with most of my private money lenders is I would borrow money. I'd get into like a fourplex, an 8, a 10, a 15, a 20 unit apartment building, and I would use their money to get into the deal. We would fix it up. We would clean it up. We would get the rent roll where it was supposed to be. We would get in better management, etc. And then guess what? I would refinance them out. So basically, let's say we agreed on a 5-year term. 8 months go by, 12 months go by. I've done what I needed to do with the property. I come back to them and say, hey, Adam St. John. Hey, Adam St. John. I appreciate you, man. Like, I thank you so much. I've refinanced out the property, and I wanted to go ahead and pay you what was owed. Obviously, we've been making interest payments as well, so you've gotten all of those, right? Yeah, man. They show up every month on the 1st into my bank account. I really appreciate it. Perfect. Yeah. So what we're gonna do at this point is I'm gonna go ahead and pay you back the principal. And I really, really appreciate you, man. If there's ever anything else I can do for you, just let me know. Guess what they typically say at that point? And Eugene Burton, I see that spreadsheet. We'll make sure that we get it over to you. Eugene, maybe if you can just drop your email down below. I don't think we can respond well with YouTube. Just give me your email. We'll send it over. Guess what? These guys don't necessarily want their money back because they've gotten used to your $500 a month payment coming in every single month. It's been kind of nice. And now their spouse kind of likes it. And they're like, yeah, man, this is really, really great. I really don't want to be paid off, Jordan. Is there anything else I can do? Yeah, dude, we can just go do it again. In fact, if you don't want me to send you the money, I can just put it in a holding account for maybe a month, maybe a couple months. While we're lining up another project, then we'll use that money. How does that sound? They say, man, Jordan, that sounds phenomenal. Or I could wire it to you. You know, there's some wiring fees and it takes, you know, whatever, a couple days here, and then to give it back to me, it'll take a couple days. Or we can do that either way. Title company will handle everything. No, man, send it over, bro. Send it over, homie. Or don't send it over. You got it. You got it. So let me go back over here. OPM, everybody can get what they want. A lot of times what I hear people talk about is confidence. You know, Jordan, and this goes back to solving the problem like what we talked about earlier. Jordan, I'm really not confident in somebody being willing to give me money. So you've got to have confidence in one of two things. Number one is going to be the deal, or number two, yourself. You absolutely have to have one of these things. It's going to be the deal. It's going to be yourself. It really doesn't matter which one it is. These are the only two scenarios in which you will win and get money. Okay? So confidence in the deal starts to go up. You know, maybe you have me do a deal analysis for you. Confidence goes up. Guess what? Confidence in the deal, you can sell that. Look, Mr. Private Money Lender, I'm super excited about this deal. Here's why. You know, the evaluation right now is 100 grand. We're actually going to be getting it for 65. So there's instant equity in it, as is, without me doing anything. But once we get a tenant in there and do blank, blank, and blank, after 6 months, it's going to be worth X. The neighborhood that it's in is doing blank. I really, really, really love this deal. That's confidence in the deal. Give yourself a check mark, or confidence in yourself. Again, it starts to go up. Look, man, I work with this phenomenal team at the Kingdom Center. These guys have done collectively like 30,000 real estate transactions, like collectively. It's a great community, and I'm really confident that we can do this project because I have such great support. You're good. Is this making sense? What questions do you guys have? Feel free to post them down below. So you might be wondering, how do we find private money, right? Jordan, this sounds great. How in the hell do we find it? What a great question. Great question. Anybody wondering that? Come on. Anybody wondering that? We can talk about something else if you guys aren't into it. How do we find private money? How do we attract private money? How do we get to the point where people with capital are literally pursuing us versus us pursuing them? Richmond said yes. Finding private money at a competitive rate. Yeah, dude, let's talk about that as well. So I want to go back to this is how I think. And you may or may not like how I think. That would be your prerogative, sir. When I'm solving a problem, competition really doesn't come into play. So if somebody is hurting and somebody is in trouble and I have a solution that I can provide for them, very rarely are they beating me up over a point or two, a percent or two. A lot of these guys, especially in the scenarios that I presented on the screen, what they're doing right now isn't working, or they're not confident, or it is costing them something, either finances or loss of sleep, or potentially like relationally, spouse is saying, hey man, like, are we gonna be okay? Are we gonna be able to retire? Because I'm looking at our 401k or whatever, and it's not going very well. So very, 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 very rarely do I ever get into a pissing match with anybody over rate or it being competitive. And I want you guys to remember, private money does not have a website. Typically, they have not lended before. They're not a company. This is your neighbor. These are ordinary people. If it is outside of this, like they typically don't have they typically don't charge points. If you guys find that you're running into this, guess what? It's not private money. Anybody know what this would be called? Rick Montilla, I'd love to know how to find it. Absolutely, my friend. We're about to get into that. Adam St. John said, tell me more. You got it, man. You got anything for you, Adam. Anything for you, buddy. All right. But hopefully this makes sense. If they have a website or if they're like, hey, man, like my email is jordan at ilendfunds.com, that's not private money. If they have an application, that is not private money. Okay? This is my neighbor across the street. This is my doctor. This is my dentist. This is the owner of the car dealership. This is the owner of the office building next to my office building. That's private money, not a company. That is hard money. Hard money, I think, is the most expensive financing on the planet. On the planet. Think about hard money for a second, really quick, then I'll let you guys go. Think about hard money for a second. Who do they attract? Post it down below if you guys know, actually. Post it down below. Hard money lenders, who do they attract? Rick, nailed it. Who do hard money lenders attract? These parasites. And if you work for a hard money lending company, I want you to understand that when I say parasites, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about every other private or hard money lender, but not you. Okay? I don't want anybody to be upset. Fix and flippers. Yes, but I'm looking for a different answer. You're not wrong, but I'm looking for something different. Who do private, or I keep on saying private, hard money lenders attract? Rehabbers, gap funding. They attract people that do not qualify to get a bank loan. Think about it. They attract people who do not qualify for a bank loan. If they don't qualify for a bank loan and they do not pass the bank's underwriting, guess what? They've been deemed high risk. How do I know this? High risk. And then there's like an asterisk, an exclamation, whatever this is called. I know this because I literally saw this on the computer of a banker when he pulled up my file when I was very, 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 very first starting in real estate. High risk. And I said, what does that mean? And he was a little bit embarrassed because I wasn't supposed to see that. He's like, oh, like based on, make sure my camera's still good. Based on everything that we've looked up and based on kind of your credit score and your credit debt to income and blah, 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 you've just been deemed high risk. Got it. So that means I'm not going to get a loan, right? No. So hard money lenders, that is who they go after. And that is, why would you ever pay more than what a bank is willing to charge you? Why would you ever pay more unless you couldn't get the bank loan? Does that make sense? It's not the same with private money. All right, let's go back into talking about how we find these people. Number one, what we're going to do is we're going to just start talking about what we do. Start to talk about it. Very rarely do I see people talking about this enough on social media and on their profiles, etc. Just talk about it more. Number two, you can make a post. This could be on Facebook. It could be on LinkedIn. Make a post. Hey, I'm working on this project. It's really interesting. This goes back to confidence. I really believe that this is a great deal. Not only that, I feel really good about doing this project and I would love to discuss it if anybody's looking for a safer, more stable way of producing income. So post about it. Normally, if you do this, I'm going to put in here consistently. Consistently. Most of you guys don't do it consistently, and you wonder why you don't get nobody to respond. You did it one time 6 months ago. Talk about it every week. Next up, ask yourself, where do people with money spend time? People with money, where do they spend time? For me, it is at the country club, at the cigar club that has a really pretty aggressive membership rate. Not at the RIAs very often. Think of like non-real estate places. There, Lucia's Steakhouse, there's a lot of guys that go over there, etc. Where do these guys hang out? Guess what? You should start hanging out there as well. And then I want you to look at digitally. Where do these guys hang out digitally? Why am I saying digitally? Some of my best private money lenders have been found on Facebook in a Facebook group. It was a company that I used to work for, and they had a 401k with company match. And everybody in that group was former, one second, they were former employees of this company. And I knew that they pushed the 401k with company match. So I started digitally looking for where do these employees spend their time. Oh, there's a Facebook group that's like literally talks SHIT about this company. Everybody there typically doesn't work there. I joined this group and there's like 20,000 people that used to work there that have 401ks that are just sitting there because they've never been educated on how do we use a 401k, turn it into a self-directed IRA, and grow it to the moon with Jordan Stanley Payne in the Kingdom Center. Nobody had ever taught them that. They didn't know that. It wasn't part of the packet when they signed up to work for this company. Is this making sense? Is this helpful for anybody? We're going to talk about it. We're going to post about it consistently. We're going to start to think about physically, where do these people spend time? Go there. Talk to people. Digitally, where do people go? Where do they spend time digitally that have money? The number 5 is going to be employees. Employees of companies that offer 401k with company match. We can convert that. I'll put on here for you guys. Old. It's got to be typically needs to be an old 401k. They still work there. More often than not, they cannot use it until they no longer work there. You could make you guys could double down on this. Make a post about old 401ks. Did you know that if you have a 401k with company match and you no longer work there, or you've been fired or whatever, did you know that you can actually roll that into a self-directed IRA almost for free? Take control of your money that was sitting in a 401k. Did you know that you could do this? And then we could work out all sorts of different stuff. But why don't you take that 40 grand, that 50 grand, that 250 grand and turn it into $1 million before you retire? Did you know you could do that? And all of a sudden people are like, holy cow, I had a 401k with company match when I was like in college. That was 20 years ago. It's still, yeah, dude, then it's still there. Go get that money. Do you remember who it was with? Great. They're gonna need your social to go find it. Very helpful. Have to jump for a 10 later. Later. You're good, man. You're good. Cool. Been off social media for a while, but I feel I have been missing a big boat. So a business page is in the works. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a page. It doesn't even have to be fancy. You just want to get out there. You just want to be talking about it, right? What other questions you guys have? I got about another 5 minutes here on my end. If you're in the midst of trying to build cash flow, unlike wholesaling, unlike some of the flips, but if you're in the midst of trying to build cash flow and you're trying to get out of the rat race, which is trading time for money every single month, if you're in that situation and you want out and you want help, I would love to have a conversation with you. 15, 20, 30 minutes, a consultation to see where you're at and to see if we can help you with anything that you have going on. It could be making a connection. It could be doing some consulting with you. It could be helping you with your marketing. Whatever that need might be, more than willing to help. Just give us a shout and let us know if that's you, and we'll go from there. There's a link down below. That is how you would jump off. That's how you would jump on a call. If you're already working with us, there's no need. No need. Just jump on the call. We'll be live all the time. Live all the time. What other questions do you guys have? Just so you guys know, the private money stuff, it's a really, really, really simple agreement. If you just talk to us or your title company, we can get you the appropriate paperwork. Everything is done through a title company. Everything is above board. Money is never sent to you, and you never send money to them. It's all done through a third party, so everything is recorded and all the transactions are above board. We don't want to get into a he said, she said situation. We want everything to be documented, everything to be transparent. So you can use a third party escrow company to take care of everything for you. Okay. They can help you with the paperwork. We could help you with the paperwork, whatever you need. Any other questions on private money? I hope this was beneficial for you. Quick recap, we are looking for people that have a problem we can solve. People that are not happy with like their retirement or the return on their money or the safety of what they're investing in. People that want safe, secure, tangible assets. We are going to find confidence in either ourselves or the deal. And then we're going to go out and start finding these people by communicating, spending time where they are, etc. Any questions, guys, before I go? I know there's some people watching. If you guys are catching the replay, feel free to post your question down below as well. Or better yet, we have a free group. There is a real estate section as well as an alternative investment section. We will put the link down below. And you guys can join that free group and you guys can ask as many questions as you want. It is one of the few communities that is not on Facebook. We completely control it. There's no spam. There's no advertisement. There's no negativity. I think you'll really like it, but I would love to jump in and see what questions you guys have about private money or business in general. Members.thekingdom, which is spelled KNGDM, center.biz. Cool. Unless there's any questions, Adam said super helpful. Thank you for your time and wisdom. Jordan, you're welcome, my friend. Guys, I appreciate you. Have a great rest of the week. I will be off next week, but we will have a couple trainings for you. So make sure you guys are tuned in for those. I appreciate you guys, and we will catch you soon.